Muliani asked Ida to immediately prepare to go to Henny's house with Rainey. After seeing off Rainey and Ida, Muliani immediately gathered all the remaining residents to listen to Andika's explanation. Almost all of those who were living on the third floor were former high school students who had only been freshmen for 3 weeks. Only Saiful, Muliani's younger brother, had written his thesis. In addition, all of them were students who had not yet completed their first mid-semester experience as students. All were still innocent, still respecting their seniors, still respecting the figure who had been kind to them. No wonder they responded obediently to Muliani's request to gather. Saiful did not want to move to another more comfortable boarding house like his other friends. Muliani knew that her younger sibling did not want to bother her, who was the first and main supporter of her younger sibling's studies. Even so, Muliani still offered Saiful to move to a more comfortable boarding house. Saiful's answer stopped Muliani's offer. Muliani never offered that to Saiful again. Is there a more comfortable place if my sister is not there? That was Saiful's answer. Muliani could not blush. Muliani just laughed at her younger sibling's answer, who was quiet and preferred to be engrossed in books, assignments, reading research results, and journals. A habit that Muliani really liked and admired from Saiful. The admiration that Muliani showed very clearly and straightforwardly. The spectacle made Saiful very happy, who also only returned his brother's amazed gaze with just a look, facial expression, and behavior that increasingly respected and loved the only older sibling he had. His older sibling who not only protected him, but also raised him, educated him, and financed his life all this time. After last night's incident, Saiful and the other juniors finding another figure from Muliani that they know makes them more obedient. Obedience that grows from the feeling of being protected and safeguarded, making them realize they have someone who is truly sincere to them. Muliani is very grateful for the attitude of Saiful and his juniors who did not show judgment on his ferocious, bloodthirsty behavior. Muliani believes that his juniors are good people for a simple reason. They are good because they have determination, have goals. That determination and goal keep them busy fighting. In that determination and goal, they have no interest in meddling with other people's lives. Like what Andika did. Who wants to help a bad young man? Well, they don't want to. If they are good now, then later they will not be good like Andika. Well, that's each person's business. We can only judge from the current situation, in the context of abilities that can be understood. Who can be sure that the heart will not change? Feelings, the human heart can change just like the wind, just like morning, afternoon, and night. Muliani found the 2 young men she had beaten up last night still naked, wearing only their underwear, covered in blood. Muliani's body shook again. The fresh blood in her body forced Muliani to miss the aroma again, presenting the fishy smell of blood, the smell of wanting to beat her up. The owner of the body stretched his wa and created an extraordinary itchy sensation all over Muliani's body. Suddenly another scent besides the scent of longing for blood crossed Muliani's nose. Muliani took a deep breath. What's this scent? The same scent that suddenly made me stop in my tracks last night, a pleasant aroma that occasionally came to Muliani at will without Muliani being able to understand what aroma she was inhaling. The trajectory of the pleasant aroma defeated Muliani's longing for the fishy smell of blood from the figure she wanted to beat. The pleasant aroma filled Muliani's entire body again. Muliani's dark, frighteningly fierce face turned calm again, making Muliani come back to herself. Muliani took a deep breath very calmly. As big as my body, they are men. Their weights are clearly different. Their strengths are different. In that difference, physical strength cannot always win and be won. The dynamics of life create various colors of strength and victory. I can beat them like last night because I won the position. They lost the position. They are below, I stand. They are thieves. They are afraid. They never beat. I have. They have never dealt with blood. I have. They never bothered to stretch other people's lives. I am determined to kill. As Saiful and the juniors watched Muliani's face longing for the stench of blood again, they were stunned without knowing what to do. They believed they would just stay silent even though they witnessed Muliani really stretching the lives of Andika and his friend who they doubted would still be able to regain consciousness and recover quickly. The change in Muliani's frighteningly fierce face with the power of darkness to really calmed Saiful and the other juniors. Muliani shook the bodies of the 2 unconscious young men with her feet. from light strength to eventually getting stronger. After a while, Muliani watched one of the collapsed figures begin to writhe. Andika was awake. Or more precisely, he was conscious. The other one that Muliani had never seen was still asleep, with his face badly bruised and swollen, with blood that had not dried yet, still silent and unresponsive. That was the first person to receive Muliani's beatings, who was still fresh and wanted to beat him up. No wonder Andika's friend was in such a dire condition. Andika's writhing body that showed that Andika's consciousness had recovered was a great relief to Saiful and the juniors. Muliani was silent, unable to say anything. Muliani didn't want to say anything at all. Muliani really hated thieves, muggers, robbers, corruptors, especially rapists. Rapists are also robbers, taking a girl's most valuable thing by force. I hate hearing it. Makes me want to go and kill them. Other people try, working hard. Why would someone have the heart to steal the results of other people's work, the results of their efforts? Something obtained by effort, by work. Hard work is worth something. The result is something that the person who tries deserves to receive it. Corruption is the same as stealing. Help me. Steal. Thieves steal from one person, one family. Corruption helps everyone who lives in this country. Troubles a lot of people. Thieves, muggers, robbers, corruptors also succeed because they also try. That's right. Those bastards tried too. Not one. Even in this world that is not obtained through effort. Alas, efforts should be made in places that do not fall into the category of taking someone else's property that is not theirs. Both expend energy, thoughts, both make efforts. Why not try with their own efforts without destroying other people's lives? What Andika and his friends did was the same. Robbery. And this is the worst robbery. Virginity. A girl's virginity. If only killing was allowed. Muliani felt sad. Sad with Andika's cruelty that was there, in front of him. His hands were too itchy to want to hit Andika, who was cowering in shame, fear, confusion, pain, tied up, wearing only underwear, watched by many people, caught red-handed by many people. If possible, please, don't let their penises go in. If you can be sure, the door don't. Must be just Ida. Hope. Muliani immediately stood up to greet her. I don't know what my face looks like. That was all that was able to come out of Muliani's mouth. Is it possible? I don't know. Juniors just heard Muliani's cold voice Muliani for the first time. That froze the soul. That burst freezing the soul because they could feel the hatred. Made Muliani feel like her whole body was being controlled by Muliani's body shivered from holding back the itch to want to beat up what they witnessed, wanting to hug, completing the freezing cold atmosphere created by Muliani's story. Without Muliani having to say anything. From Muliani understood very well. Now, of course, saying I still want to kill you. Hugging all of that makes them realize. Hugging, which Muliani had never done, would of course invite the same thing as the juniors. She stared at the face of the owner of the bursting smile. Andika's soul trembled until Andika really wanted to die. Expression that looked like usual. His really relieved without Andika being able to hold it. Muliani didn't know what to do other than the explosion that wanted to end his life made. Should I hug? I'm not the type who can express things like that. That smelled like wanting to end his life. Dynamics of life. The dynamics of life will continue to press, felt like something that was through the lives of every human being, making him really want to die. That makes it easier for me. Came from Andika's understanding. Quiet. Of the figure of Muliani that he knew. Fun. Muliani who prefers to be supportive when people who used to judge or belittle hug me with tolerating mistakes. That's why I know bad things done by her juniors in a light or fatal context as part of the process of becoming an adult. Fatal mistakes that have never involved activities like what Andika did to Rainey. I hug according to the wishes of those who I want to calm with harming the common interest because of his or his friends' lack of understanding by overflowing students with and at their requests. Without me being able to hug when I want her life that Andika felt made Andika I can't realize how big a because I don't have a reason to hug Ida. Hugging someone needs a reason? Muliani took a deep breath. I don't know. What I know is, I need the right timing to hug. Hugging suddenly. Of course. Ida is confused. I don't want Ida to be hysterical. Is that possible? Is that possible? Muliani took another deep breath with her calm face. Mbak Mal. Why were you telling me and Mbak Henny to go there so early in the morning? Mbak. How unusual. Oh yeah, what's wrong with the door? Mbak Mal. Why did it suddenly break? It was fine last night. Muliani, who had regained his composure even though his soul was roaring with sadness, with calm eyes. Muliani looked helplessly at the innocent eyes in front of him. Oh, my God. I don't want his penis to go in yet. But what if it's already in? Poor thing. It's so hard. Any one of them is hard. Going in is hard. Not going in is also hard for Rainy and Ida. Of course, everything would be different if it was done because both of them wanted it. If that's the case, that's none of my business at all, because it's not something that was wanted. This is painful, suffocating, makes my chest hurt incredibly, because one party really doesn't want this to happen. Rainy and Ida don't want it. Why mess up other people's lives? How do Rainy and Ida feel? My two only female juniors. The only ones after 4 years of never having a female junior. And once there was, Muliani's heart ached as if it had been cut with a knife. Just use Miss Mull's motorbike. Ida was surprised. She was not an expert at cycling. Neither was Rainy. Ida knew that Muliani understood that. It's still early. It's okay. Miss Mull herself will pick up the motorbike from Miss Henny. Let's get ready.